Good day, my friends. Let's learn something new today. Okay, let's have a look into our next lesson. This looks quite interesting. A passport, a map of the world. Yeah, and even here's South Africa as well. There's Zimbabwe, Botswana. Well, you can see the countries nicely over here. And also here you can see is Thailand. Right here is Thailand, part of Thailand down there. Yeah, good. Right, guys, you can see a lot over there. Let's have a look at our lesson. Have you ever? Present perfect questions. Wow. Now this says quite a lot. Righto, guys. And of course, our aim of the lesson is explore the present perfect simple with have you ever questions. This lesson or presentation will help you master asking about life experiences, connecting the past to the present. Learn essential grammar and practice forming questions and answers. And once again, it's made by Alfred Grobler.
Teacher, have you ever been to Vietnam?
Yes, I have. Many times. Sandra, have you ever seen the movie The Sound of Music?
No. I haven't.
Jane, have you been to Bangkok?
No, I've never been to Bangkok.
Alright guys, now that you know the objective of the lesson, let's go have a look at, of course, once again, what is the present perfect simple. I've discussed this in many videos already. We've been discussing this almost in every single video on what we've done so far on the present perfect simple. But anyhow, let's go have a look. It is past experiences, so it talks about the past experience. It connects the connection to the present, so it connects the past to now. In some previous videos we were talking about it's like a bridge between the past and now. And of course now we're adding the word ever. It asks about experiences at any time. In other words, when you're asking with ever, right? We're looking to it, but in the next slide we're looking more into it. I think let's rather wait for the next slide. Okay, let's dive into what is the present perfect simple. Right, guys. Wow, there's a whole lot coming up over here now. Okay, we use the present perfect, have been, have had, have played, etc. when we talk about a time from the past until now. For example, if we're going to be looking at this diagram that I've drawn down over here, we've got our past tense, we've got our present or now. Okay, and let's draw a line by now. This side will be future, present at this very moment of speaking over here. Righto, so have you ever would mean any time from now until whenever you were born or whatever the case might be. Like I'm saying over here, for example, a person's life, right? And it makes things very, I was to put it, for a very long period of time, in other words, because ever means that in your whole life, from the day you were born up to now, that's what it actually means, right? So it's time from the past until now. That's what it looks or means. Let's go into some examples. Have you ever been to England? That means the guy's asking, or somebody's asking you. Okay, let's see where we're going next. Well, they all look so happy always, huh? Great. Asking about life experiences. Firstly, you, we, they. Again, you can see the groupings, right? Have, you, have, we, have, they, ever, plus the past participle. Example, have you ever been to Spain? He, she, it, has, right? You can see they're grouped together again, huh? Has he, has she, ever, plus the past participle. Example, has she ever been to Portugal? And then, of course, the position of ever. Ever is between have and has and the past participle. As you can see, there it is. Ever is between have and the past participle, huh? Righto, guys. That is basically it. A couple of things a guy must just remember when you are forming the questions.
Where's Peter?
He's gone away.
He's gone to Thailand. Hello, Peter.
Hi. I've been on holiday. I've been to Thailand.
Righto guys, gone and been. Like for instance, here's a perfect example. I can't find Susan. Where has she gone? That means she's asking where is Susan right now at this present moment of speaking. Afterwards, oh, hello Susan. I was looking for you. Where have you been? Right? I have been out for lunch, whatever the case might be, hey? Okay, let's have a look at it. Some nice fresh fruit, huh? Oh, sunflowers are always so beautiful, huh? A lottery ticket, my gosh. Okay, real life examples. For instance, sushi. Have you ever tried sushi? Meaning, have you ever eaten sushi? Did you enjoy it? Yes or no? Travel? Has he ever traveled abroad? Which means you're asking somebody if that person has traveled overseas. That's what it means, huh? Competition? Have they ever won a competition? Pretty logical, huh? Okay. What could be next? Responding to ever questions. Righto, guys. Answering you questions. Yes, I have, right? Or no, I haven't. Answering he, she, it questions. Yes, he, or yes, she, or yes, it has. No, he hasn't, or no, she hasn't. And of course, adding some deep details, like I told you in a previous slide. Give more details after a yes answer. Right? It's normally nice just to give some little bit more details after a yes answer. Not necessarily after a no answer, but after a yes answer, yes. Okay, let's go for it. She's busy writing in her book. I wonder what are they busy writing in their books. It could just be some practice. Practice, exercise, form the questions. Number 1, make an activity list. Start with making a list of activities. Example, ride a horse, swim in the sea, drive a go-kart, climbed a mountain, won a race, run a marathon, snowed in your city, things like that, right? So make an activity list. Then you create your questions. Great, have you, or have we, have they, or whatever, ever questions. Or you can say, great, has he, or has she, has it. Right, and then of course, example, for instance, activity ride a horse. Have you ever ridden a horse? Activity snow in your city. Has it ever snowed in your city? Right, guys, so take your book, your notebook, make a little bit of a small activity list. Maybe just put 5 activities down, create some questions, and look at your examples. You can always use this as a guideline, or you can look at the back page back in the video, or rewind the video a bit, and you'll be able to see if you've done it correctly or not. And of course, the alternative option is you can go into ChatGPT and you can collect some activities there, and you can check your answers there as well. Okay. Let's look at some more practice. Okay. You must place the words in the correct order to form questions. So you've got a lot of words over here, and you must place them in the correct order now to make the questions, right? And of course, like always, pause the video and answer all the questions, and once you finish answering, you can continue watching to check your answers. The first one, let's do the first one together. Righto. Have you ever seen a UFO? I know normally with a U you'll be saying an, but in this case, because it's a UFO, you'll say a UFO, right? You can look up the exact reason why on ChatGPT. It'll explain it out very nicely to you why I've done that like that over there. Righto guys, I'm going to give you a minute or two to complete the questions, and then we'll check the answers.
Hey, you must pause the video.
Okay, I assume that you have paused the video and you've answered all your questions. So now it's time to check the answers, right? The first one we've done. Let's go look at number 2. Have they ever visited Paris? Number 3. Has he ever played soccer or football? Huh? Many countries call it football. English people call it soccer. Has she ever finished her homework? Very good question. Has it ever broken down? This question will be like, for instance, something that is busy working, like your car. Has it ever broken down and left you next to the side of the road or something like that? Okay. Guys, once again, if you had them all correct, go out, buy yourself a cup of coffee, give yourself a treat, because then you have achieved a lot. And your English is getting better and better by each lesson. So guys, honestly, if you had them correct, give yourself a treat. It's an absolute must to give yourself a treat when you've done something and you've achieved your goals, right? Also, guys, I think if you had a mistake or you had one wrong, it's maybe worthwhile to play the video once again and go over it once again. And always, don't forget, all these lessons are made up using AI. And should you have a problem that you don't understand something, you know, Gemini and even ChatGPT, but I personally prefer Gemini. And I think Gemini is really very, very good because it belongs to Google and it can access anything that's on Google. So anything you don't understand properly, you can always ask Gemini, and Gemini will give you a complete breakdown of explanation. How you make your prompt, of course, is very important. And I think at a later stage, I will even go into making a lesson on how to make the prompts. Righto, guys. Great. At the end of every lesson, we've got some key takeaways that we need to look at. The first one being practice. Guys, yes, it's very important. You've got to learn and practice, because if you don't practice, there's no point in learning it, right? Please, guys, practice. Second one, usage. In this lesson, you have learned how to use the present perfect have you ever questions and to answer them, right? And also short answers. You've learned how to give short answers. Use have you ever, has she ever, to ask about life experiences. It connects the present and uses short answers. Practice often and continue learning. Guys, that's the best way to learn, is to go out there and to do it. Practice speaking to people, preferably if you can find natural English speakers. Practice speaking to them. I'm quite sure that most of them will be quite happy to correct you where you make a mistake. Righto, guys. With that said, don't forget to buy me a cup